the secret messenger of the forest. The forest always woke gently under the golden sun. Birds sang softly, dewdrops sparkled, and tiny flowers stretched their petals. Fairy Rabbit had just woken up from her cloud-shaped bed. As usual, she opened her window, but today she noticed something different, a piece of paper folded like a butterfly sitting on her windowsill. "Who could have sent this?" she whispered. She unfolded the note and read the single line written inside. "Please deliver this letter to the animal in the forest who needs a smile the most." There was no name at the end, only a tiny glittering leaf sticker in the corner. Fairy Rabbit's heart stirred. She decided to take on this mysterious mission. With the letter in her paw, she set off into the forest. Her first stop was Mr. Mole's burrow. He was trying to fix a broken light bulb and looked quite frustrated. "Are you all right?" Fairy Rabbit asked gently. "Sigh? My lamp's broken, I can't read my book, and now I'm just grumpy in the dark," he muttered. Fairy Rabbit smiled. "I have a letter you might like." She handed him the butterfly-shaped note. Mr. Mole read it slowly. His frown faded. Then, a soft smile appeared. "This sentence. It gave me strength. Thank you." As Fairy Rabbit turned to leave, Mr. Mole pulled out his own tiny paper, folded into a star. "I want to write something too, Ooh. Could you deliver this for me?" Fairy Rabbit nodded and placed the star letter gently into her pouch. Next, she crossed a small bridge and found the little turtle sitting alone, looking sad. "Someone left this for you," Fairy Rabbit said, handing over the star letter. The turtle opened it. Inside it said, "Your pace is perfect, there's no race to win." A shimmer appeared in his eyes. "That's exactly what I needed to hear." He, too, wrote a note and passed it to Fairy Rabbit. And so, the letters continued to pass from one heart to another. Each one was like a spark of light in the forest, reaching a soul quietly waiting. Some notes encouraged a young bird learning to fly. Others comforted a squirrel after a failed jump. There was even one that reminded Old Fox he hadn't been forgotten. Fairy Rabbit became the forest's secret messenger. And every time she delivered a letter, she saw a face brighten with a long-lost smile. One evening, as she returned home, she noticed a heart-shaped note sitting at her own doorstep. She opened it and read. "To the one who brings smiles to all, thank you for making the forest warmer." Fairy Rabbit held the note close, her eyes glistening. She didn't speak. She just leaned by the door and watched as the stars lit up the sky. That night, the whole forest felt like it had been wrapped in the warmth of letters. And everyone's dreams were sweet, like the scent sealed inside every envelope, filled with hope. The Enchanted Night in the Forest. Deep in a distant forest lived a magical little bunny named Fairy Rabbit, with ears that sparkled like moonlight. Her daily mission was simple yet special: help the forest animals with their troubles and make every night shimmer with peace and joy. One gentle evening, with silver moonlight pouring through the trees and the scent of leaves and wood in the air, Fairy Rabbit sat by the window of her mushroom house, sipping warm cocoa. Suddenly, she heard a faint sound carried by the wind, a soft cry. Her ears perked up. It came from near the creek. She set down her cup, wrapped herself in her cloud-woven cloak, and hopped softly down onto the moss in front of her door, heading toward the creek. There, by the babbling stream, she found a little hedgehog curled up tightly, his eyes red with tears. "What's wrong, little hedgehog?" Fairy Rabbit asked gently. "I had a bad dream," he sniffled. "I dreamed I was lost. And couldn't find my way home." Fairy Rabbit stroked his head and said, "You're not alone now. Let's face the nightmare together, shall we?" She began to hum the forest lullaby, and golden starlight twinkled from her ears, wrapping around the little hedgehog like a blanket. Within moments, the hedgehog yawned and fell asleep in her arms. She didn't wake him. Instead, she called upon her friends, Gentle Deer, Cheerful Squirrel, and the frog who loved to sing. Together, they laid down soft leaves to make a cozy bed and kept watch over the dream. When morning came, the hedgehog woke to find himself surrounded by smiling faces. "You? All stayed with me?" He blinked. Of course, Fairy Rabbit smiled. The forest never lets anyone be alone. From that day on, the animals took turns telling stories, singing songs, and making sure every night was filled with warmth and wonder. Each evening, Fairy Rabbit lit up the little paths through the forest, tucking stars quietly into everyone's dreams. And every corner of the forest remembered her kindness. The night the stars fell. The forest at night was always quiet, blanketed with countless twinkling stars. But one night, something strange happened. The stars began to fall from the sky, one by one. Plop! A little star landed on a mushroom. Splash! Another one fell into the lake. Fairy Rabbit, sitting on her moon-shaped chair, looked up and gasped. A hole had appeared in the sky, like the night had been torn open by the wind. She immediately jumped off her chair and rang the forest starlight bell, a string of wind chimes that shimmered only in emergencies. Within 5 minutes, animals from all over the forest gathered. Some still wore their bedtime hats, and some were rubbing their sleepy eyes. "What's going on?" yawned the deer. "The stars are falling," Fairy Rabbit said seriously. "We have to help them return to the sky." "But how do we put stars back up there?" asked Mr. Frog with a puzzled face. Fairy Rabbit opened her magical notebook and flipped to the chapter called Night Sky Repairs. "We'll first collect the fallen stars," she explained. "Then we'll ask Grandmother Moon to help us fix the hole in the sky." And so, the great star-finding mission began. The animals split into teams. Some used branch-made nets, while others carried petal-woven pouches. The stars had landed in all sorts of odd places, beside a jar of honey, on top of Owl's roof, and even one that had fallen into Mr. Mole's carrot soup. Fairy Rabbit whispered to each sparkling star, "Don't be afraid. We'll bring you home." She gently cupped each star in her soft paws and placed them into a basket lined with clouds. Hours later, every fallen star had been found. Fairy Rabbit then arranged a circle of moonstones by the lakeside and chanted a forgotten forest spell. From the lake, Grandmother Moon rose, dressed in a gown of silver light. She smiled and said, "Thank you for gathering the stars. Now let me stitch the sky." With thread spun from moonlight, she stitched the tear in the sky, one delicate loop at a time, then gently placed each star back where it belonged. "We're going home," the stars sang joyfully, sparkling as they floated up to the heavens. The forest grew quiet again, filled with the soft glow of peace. "You were all amazing tonight," Fairy Rabbit said to her friends. "Without you, the sky would have stayed broken." That night, the little animals dreamed the sweetest dreams, of soaring as glowing stars, shining in the sky and watching over one another forever.